Hey everyone, welcome back to Sarah J. Awesome. I was going to do my 1-year review of my Tesla Model 3, but I actually found something a little more important that I want to share with y'all first. Unfortunately, even though it's October, in Texas it is still freaking hot as crap. And I took delivery of my Tesla Model 3 September 28th of 2020. So the last few months have actually been the first hot summer that I've had the car, because I took delivery in the fall of last year. I've started having some problems with my home charging setup right here. The main problem that I keep having is that my Tesla mobile connector here keeps overheating in the sun. The only place that I could put my mobile connector was on the west side of my house. And we all know the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. And we all know it's much hotter in the afternoon. So this kind of limits the times that I can actually charge my car. I need to get some kind of shade put here or something, but because this is so low, the shade would have to come out pretty far to block this from the west sun hitting it. I've even tried parking my car really close to the mobile charging connector here, and it still does not block it from that sun that is from like 1 to 4 p.m. over here coming from the west side. So as soon as it gets to about 96 degrees Fahrenheit and my mobile connector is in the sun, it starts to overheat and it will not charge my car. So this has become a major problem for me. It's not the end of the world because I typically do charge overnight, but with my job, I often get home at around 2 or 3 p.m. in the afternoon. And I've already driven well over 100 miles that day for work. And then I want to go to my son's football games, which is in the afternoon, and sometimes they're away games that are another hour away. So when I come home and I can't charge my car because it's too hot outside, then I have to end up taking one of my other cars to go drive to their football games. Also, I had a problem where I got to work one day and I almost didn't make it back home because I thought that my car had charged the day before. I plugged it in super early, like 2 p.m. and then I got up the next morning and got all the way to work and realized my car had stopped charging immediately after I plugged it in at 2 p.m. the day before. If it doesn't get super hot where you live, then you don't really need to worry about this, or if you have some decent shade, then that's totally fine. So located inside of your mobile charging connector, there is a GFCI, which is a ground fault circuit interrupter. It's basically the same thing that is in a hair blow dryer. You know, every time you plug in your blow dryer somewhere, you have to push the little yellow button to get the, you know, GFI to reset in there. So same concept here. Anytime that the ground is interrupted or, you know, anything happens to this at all, then it will immediately trip and you will have to unplug this and replug it back in to get that to reset. And you'll actually hear a click in there. Let me see if I can let y'all hear what that sounds like when it trips on its own correctly when you charge the car. I want you to listen right here for this click. Did you hear that click there? So that is the correct click. If you don't hear that click when you plug your car in, it means that the GFCI did not reset and it's not going to charge your car, and you're gonna see a red Tesla symbol where it should be green over here to show it's charging. So what happens is when this gets overheated, it will trip that and it will not start charging again until you unplug it from your car, unplug it from the wall, plug it back into the wall and it's cooled off, and then plug it back into the car again. So the problem that I've been having is it keeps tripping and getting too hot, and I think that my car charged and, you know, I've been too busy to check it or whatever, not paying attention, and it turns out my car did not charge. It says charging equipment reports error. We're at 4% battery. I just plugged in my car and it has this red T symbol right here. So what we're gonna do is unplug this. So I don't know if y'all can see this, but this is how you tell what error code you're having. You see the T is flashing red once very slowly, so that's one flash. So what we're gonna do to reset that is unplug our mobile connector, and then we're gonna plug it back in. We're hoping to see green, so it should be good now. So we're gonna take this, plug our car back in. It should turn blue, which it did. It'll start flashing. You heard that click over here on the mobile connector. That's it resetting, and now it's flashing green, so now it's charging. So this is what it looks like when it's correctly charging. And it says that it is charging now. Oh, and look, our little battery turned green. I haven't seen that green since before the holiday update in 2020. So this is in the instruction manual for the car, and this is the problem that I've been having. Unable to charge, wall plug temperature high, wall outlet and wiring inspection recommended. For me, it's because the sun is directly on there. When it happened last time, I had this happen first. It said charging rate reduced, and then it actually stopped charging right afterwards. You know, it's not the end of the world, like I said, but it can be really irritating if you think that your car charged and you come out ready to go and it has not charged because it got overheated. I've heard people tell me that they wrap like a wet towel around here, and at first I was like, that's absolutely crazy, I'm not going to do that. But this is weatherproof and everything. You could technically wrap a cold towel around here to get it to cool off quickly and start charging again, but that's just kind of embarrassing and ridiculous to me. I mean, this is an electrical cord hooked up to 240 volts of electricity, and to wrap a wet towel around here just sounds absurd. Yes, I suppose you could do that. Am I gonna do that? No, I'm not gonna do that. I really need to put some shade here or something to protect this. And the main point of this video is just to tell you, if you have the option and you live in a very hot area, you need to install your outlet either in the shade or on the north or south or east side of your house. Do not install it on the west side in the sun, because you will also have this problem all the time. There's also a lot of other things that could go wrong with your mobile connector, and there is actually a list on the Tesla website, and it shows all the different codes in there. And basically what will happen is it will show in your little Tesla word right here, it lights up green if it's good, and if not, each one of these letters will blink a different color at a different rate a certain amount of times, and that will give you the answer to whatever kind of error you're having. So I will give you guys that link so that you can look and do troubleshooting on your mobile connector if you need to. Really the only problem that I've had with mine being plugged in all the time outside is just it getting too hot. I know a lot of you charge in your garage, so you won't be having this issue like I do, but I have 6 children, and my husband is also a YouTuber, and his studio's in the garage, and then we have all of our hurricane prep stuff, and then we have a million bicycles in there, and everything else you could possibly think of. So I cannot park my car in my garage. It is full of crap, basically. There's absolutely no way that I can park my car in the garage ever. And even if you do park your car in your garage and you feel like this is not going to be an issue for you, you might be traveling somewhere that it is going to be outside in the heat. So this way you'll know kind of how to deal with the problem, what's happening, why is it happening, how dangerous is it. It's not that bad. This is going to protect itself and shut off, but you know, it can still put you in a really bad situation if you can't charge your car and you have some kind of emergency that you need to get to. I do want to add one more thing. It's kind of a strange thing. Now, the Tesla website and the user manual says you can reset by just unplugging this mobile connector from your car and plugging it back into your car, but I have found that that is actually not true. You actually have to unplug this from the car and unplug this from the wall, and then plug this back into the wall, and then plug this back into the car in order to really reset the GFCI in here. If you just unplug it from the car, it doesn't work. It does not reset this. I don't know why. And there was a time that I came home and I tried unplugging this and plugging it back in like 12 times, and I was out here for an hour, and I needed my car to charge because I had to go to work the next day and it was like 20% battery. I could not get this to reset. And so finally, I wanted to see, is it the outlet? Is it the mobile charger? What is going on here? So I actually took it and I put the different adapter on for the 110 volts. I put that adapter on here and I plugged it into our 110 outlet over here that I have. And then it actually started charging off that outlet. And so I'm like, well, maybe it's my outlet. But actually what had happened was every time I plugged it back into this one, for whatever reason, it wouldn't reset the GFCI. But when I plugged it into a different voltage over here, the 110, it reset the GFCI. And then when I immediately plugged in back over here on the 240, it started charging again with no problem. So if you ever have some kind of problem where you absolutely, no matter how many times you plug this and unplug it and everything, you can't get the GFCI to reset in here, try plugging it into a different outlet and see what happens, or a different voltage outlet, and that may actually fix your problem. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's not super long and super detailed, but it is pretty important, and there's not really that much to it. The main thing is just make sure you don't have this problem with your mobile connector overheating. Try not to put it on the west side of your house if you have the option, or try to put it in the shade. And also another main reason for this video is just so you have that list available. Just save it to your home screen on your phone, and that way, no matter where you are in the world, you already have it downloaded and you can see the list of what error code you're getting and how to fix the problem so you can charge your car. Y'all have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time.